This is episode 33 of Standing Out. Standing Out is a remarkable interview-style podcast with the intention to highlight women and men making outstanding contributions in their field. This podcast is generously sponsored by Think Global. Think Global is a business advisory firm working with women entrepreneurs around the globe to scale their businesses to the next level. Today, I'd like to welcome Emily Morgan. Emily helps entrepreneurs and executives strategically clear their plates so they can focus on what they love. She's the founder of Delegate Solutions, a strategic support firm, and the designer of the Delegate Method, which helps entrepreneurs identify areas of their business they can delegate or automate for maximum efficiency. She's helped hundreds of entrepreneurs master delegation and design systems to support and grow their awesome businesses. This year alone, her team has cleared nearly 10,000 hours of tasks off the plates of overwhelmed business owners. Emily, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Kat.
Hey, that is really incredible that you break it down to 10,000 hours. It's like, that's awesome. And what I love about that is that means that's 10,000 hours that business owners are able to do something that they need to be doing to grow their businesses.
Exactly. That's the whole goal.
Yeah. So let's back up just a little bit, because I would love to share with everyone how you got your start in this space.
Sure. So my career prior to becoming an entrepreneur was really focused on administrative, operational type roles. And I was at one point pregnant with my son and sort of not in the headspace to want to have to commute in and out of Philadelphia to a job each day in order to support myself and my family. So I learned about, at this time, it was called the virtual assistant industry. So I started researching it and sort of realized that I could take the exact same work that I was currently doing in my office job and do it remotely for clients from home. And I had never been involved in anything entrepreneurial prior to this. And I was an English major at University of Penn. And so it wasn't a normal progression for me to start a business, but it all kind of came out of wanting more flexibility in my life.
I think that is, I don't know, it seems like so many entrepreneurs have a similar story in that wasn't the natural trajectory. Like it was not a linear line. It was more roller coaster-ish and some left turns and ups and downs along the way. So when you started, it was just you. And then did you basically built up a client load and then needed to hire more individuals, right?
Exactly. So I started by hiring one person and then sort of worked with her to help develop the growth of the team. And in that time, hired Joe Belch, who's my operations manager, and he's really been instrumental in helping me set up systems and processes so that we could scale what we were doing, what our unique process was, so that we could just keep delivering that and keep growing the company. So in the course of hiring sort of these leadership people, we wound up hiring lots of different team members. Years ago, we shifted from having 1099s to actually having employees that are managing our team. So these days we're now an employer in about 9 different states. So
oh, that sounds complicated for taxes. So hold on. So when you're working with business owners and entrepreneurs, do you get the sense that oftentimes the business owner is trying to do every piece of the business? Is that what you find? Yeah.
I think I'm in a program called Strategic Coach, and they call that rugged individualism. Like they're just, you just do it because it needs to get done. But what happens is you reach a ceiling where there's no more time.
Yeah.
And you're stunting your growth because you have no support in place to help you grow the business.
So I can definitely relate to this. So when you're in that place of you feel, and what's weird about that place is I think business owners and entrepreneurs, they don't mean to be in that place, but it is more of that piece of, I want this company to grow, so I'm going to do this and make it happen. But I don't think it's necessarily the feeling of, hey, I'm the best at this or no one else can do it. It comes from a different spot. So I want to know, in your experience of talking with entrepreneurs and business owners like that, what are the first things that you normally identify as things that they can easily hand off, like just to clear some of their plate?
Yeah, I mean, our methodology is not meant to be task driven. It's meant to be strategic. I call what we do strategic support because, you can hire anyone to just be there for you to hand things off to, but what you really need is someone to help you leverage your time. And that requires more knowledge than just knowing how to execute tasks. So part of our service is really about helping people figure out what's the best use of our time to support you. So we do that by being really goals focused in the work that we're taking on. So we want to understand what they're trying to do, what their priorities are. We want to understand what does their ideal day look like so that we're building towards what they feels like a relief.
Right. What would you say in this journey, and how old is Delegate now? Is it
9
years? In this 9-year journey, what's been your favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
I think just the freedom to do things the way that I want to do them. And I don't know that I had that mentality when I was in a regular job. I never was it would be so much better if I could just do this myself. That's totally not ever how I felt.
Right.
But I think what I love about what we do is that, one, we are helping people. We're helping the people that we employ have flexible, remote opportunities that are professional.
Right.
And two, we're really helping our clients be more impactful. So
right.
I'm always motivated by that, despite all the challenges of running a company. I'm still motivated by what we do. And I think that freedom and that sort of freedom to vision and execute is what is interesting to me.
So it's funny that you just said that, because my next question was going to be, how do you recover from a tough day? Because I think any business owner that's growing, particularly a service-based business, there's different challenges that come with that piece. So I'd love to know what you do to kind of stay focused and committed to that mission.
Yeah, so we do what we call positive focus. Again, this is a strategic coach term, but it's really about, we start all of our meetings. We have all different leadership meetings, team huddles throughout the week. Every single meeting is started with positive focus. So what's working, what's awesome. Personal or professional, doesn't really matter, but we start with a positive note.
That's interesting, because I feel like sometimes when you jump on a call, a lot of times calls or huddles are to address an issue. You know what I mean? So I think it's really good to just kind of shift and reframe to focus on positive first.
Yeah, we do that. And then I'm on day 40 of meditating. So I've been doing mindfulness meditation, and it's 10 minutes a day, and it's really helpful with just calming your brain down and recovering.
Do you do that morning after, do you have a set time of the day?
No.
Whenever you can kind of sneak it in.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's an app called Headspace. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's guided meditation. And once you get through the first 30 days, you can start on different topics.
Oh, what are some topics they have?
They have topics around relationships, health, happiness, acceptance.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool. But they make you do the 30-day training to probably to practice and just get a general vibe going. Well, that's a really good tip. Do you have any other books, apps, TED Talks, things like that you would share with the group that you think are inspiring or beneficial for business owners?
Yeah, I also use an app called Productive, and it's free as long as you're limiting it to a certain number of tasks. But what that does is I track 5 things that I'm trying to do each day. So eat healthy foods, go to the gym 3 times a week, drink water. And so at the end of the day, I just kind of track, did I do all those things? And then I have a little calendar view of how many days I did everything. And so that's kind of kind of
You know
good.
what cracks me up about this? Did you just say that you track, did I drink enough water? Because I have water right here, and if I don't like put it on my desk, like there will be days that I forget that I'm a human and I need water. Like, is that, I'm glad it's not just me.
And it's like, I do like, drink water, walk the dogs, and the dog's getting very chunky.
Oh.
Eat healthy foods, go to the gym, and do my meditations.
Yeah.
And I check those 5 things, and it's just like, did I do it? Yes or no? And then I have like a calendar view of it. So there's that. I got in the mail a really, really great book that I'm halfway through called Sacred Success, which I'm really enjoying.
Okay. What is that about?
It's about, let me think how to describe it. It's about looking at the different things in your life that you have fear for. So fear around power, fear around money, and just kind of
okay.
looking at any thoughts that you have on different topics, and how to identify what is your ego versus what is your soul, and like how to step into your greatness. And you really have to cut the ego from your life, because it's there to protect you, to step into your greatness. And it's all leading into a money conversation, but it's foundational. So that book, and of course we use Asana. So
right,
all kinds of stuff.
our lifesaver. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Asana is really great. And it seems to me that they're getting good momentum. And the other one, our team hasn't started using it just yet, but Slack seems to like be blowing up, for lack of a better word. I see them everywhere. And I know you guys use that, right?
Yeah, we're on Slack all day. And it's just cut tremendous amounts of email from our.
That sounds so great. Less email. It's funny because in the space that I'm in, we know that email still works and email converts and all of that. So it's hard to say I want less email, but I also think if I had less email that required me to do a task, I bet my email would convert even higher. You know what I mean?
The email, communicating with external people, email is a great way to go. But when you're internally talking with your team, or you're talking about tasks, you can accomplish that in Slack or Asana.
Yeah.
And it helps, we have a flexible team, so they have Slack on their phones, and if they're out at their kid's soccer game, they could still be in the conversation if they want.
Right.
Their phones.
Right. No, those apps are great for that, just to quickly pop in, but not have to go through your whole email inbox, to see what's relevant and what people are talking about. Okay. So as we kind of wrap this up, I would love to know one thing that's been on your radar lately that that maybe you think will be a trend or a hot topic that we'll all be talking about in the next year or so.
I think anything related to flex work and virtual teams. We are spending a ton of time. Actually, in 2 weeks, I'm going to DC for a conference on remote and distributed teams that's put on by Flex Jobs.
Okay.
Called TradWorks, TRAD Works, first week of June in Washington, D.C. So I think just more and more conversations around why we are so closed off to flex work environments, when it's really more beneficial to in most cases, the employers, because you can save on real estate and utilities and all that.
Yeah.
Two, it allows you as an employer to attract a national talent pool that human life to perform their job environment, then
right.
I see on the horizon.
So that's interesting, because we've talked a lot about entrepreneurs and business owners delegating, but are you seeing that more like mid-size and large companies are also going to more of a flex work situation? Or are there roadblocks? Like, I don't know, what does that landscape look like?
I don't do too much interfacing with larger companies, but I can tell you there's giant companies that are going to be at this conference. Like Clorox is going to be there.
Oh, wow.
Like big companies are coming because, they're also trying to attract millennial talent. They're trying to retain people that might have been with the company for a long time that maybe want to retire, and they have all this knowledge and they have no way to pass that knowledge to the new team, but they
Right.
still kind of move on with their lives. So I think you got the young and the old at the spectrum that are, and there's proof of concept that people can work remotely and be productive and the business can move forward. And I'm not saying it works for every company in every
Yeah.
scenario, just to be more flexible.
I can say, this is just a funny little side note. When I did work for a corporation, there was this woman that her cubicle and my cubicle were next to each other. And I swear we talked for probably an hour and a half every day, like when we got in, before we even started working. And I don't know, like now when I sit down to work, I sit down, I work.
Right.
There aren't the side conversations. And I just wondered, and I'm actually an introverted person. And so if an introverted person is talking that much and wasting that much time, it's probably like something to consider,
Yeah, it's called Results Only Work Environment. It's called ROW. And there's a book and there's a website on how you can kind of restructure roles in your company to be, hey, you want to work flexibly from home? Can you achieve these 15 things for the quarter? Then work whatever you want, as long as you're client calls or show up to meetings, whatever. But like try to restructure and rethink the way that we're thinking about building our teams.
Yeah, that's really interesting. All right. Well, thank you, Emily, for being on the call. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.